In this video, I'm going to go through 5 resistance band exercises that you can do if you're traveling, or you're training from home with minimal equipment, or you're new to strength training. Hi, I'm Sam Vickers. I help golfers improve their performance through moving better in the golf swing, reducing the risk of injury, and hitting the ball further. I always recommend using a looped resistance band like this. They will come in different strengths and sizes. You need to choose the one that will allow you to do the technique of the exercise correctly, but while also giving you the most intensity. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment on what your favourite exercise is. So we're going to start with a resisted frog stretch. You need to take your band, attach it to something stable. In this instance, I'm just using a heavy weight, making sure it doesn't move. You're going to step through your band, put it just above your waist. You're going to move forward so you've got plenty of tension on the band. This is really, really important. It will help using a strong band. You're going to put your knees as wide apart as you can physically get them and almost bring your feet slightly open like this. From here, you should feel like there's tension at the top. You're going to slowly lower your hips to the floor while there's still some tension on the band. You're going to hold that for a couple of seconds. You should feel it stretching in and around your hips and groin area. Then you're just going to lift it back up, squeeze, and control it back down into that full range of motion stretch, and repeat. Next, we're going to go into a hinged Y raise. Start by holding the band towards the end, but probably leave yourself a little bit of distance. Obviously, it depends on how strong the band is you're using to how wide you need to hold this. We're going to go into a hinged position, so kind of standing upright, hinge over roughly 45 degrees. Feel from this position like you just apply a little bit of tension to the band. I don't want you pulling it wide, but just feel like you just set the tension. From there, keeping that same amount of tension, you're just going to simply try and raise your arms as far up as you can. Hold it for a few seconds without moving the rest of the body, and repeat. You should feel a big stretch starting to happen in the back of the arms, in the shoulders, and even sometimes in the back muscles, depending on where you're a little bit limited. And just try and create that Y shape at the top with maximal movement. So now we're going to move into the quadruped hip internal rotation. Same setup as a frog stretch, attaching your band to something stable. We're going to go into the middle around the hips. Move out so you've got plenty of tension on the band. Go onto all fours. We're going to move into one of the hips, so the knee needs to be directly underneath the hip or slightly inwards, certainly not outwards. You're going to try and feel like your pocket, imagine you've got a pocket to your side, you're going to try and push that to the floor without kind of excessively leaning over. So both knees should stay on the ground. You're going to push that to the floor. Feel a little bit of a stretch in and around the hip joint. You can almost create some mini circles to create that maximal stretch and end range of motion. Relax out of it and repeat. So we're going to go shoulder 90-90 rotation. Well, you want a reasonably strong band for this one so you can keep your shoulders set. We don't want to be pulling the band excessively tight. So we're holding it out a shoulder width apart. A little bit of tension to begin with. Keys is making sure you're pulling the shoulder or the elbows back as far as you can. You should almost feel your shoulder blades pinch together. Stay at a roughly shoulder height, not letting them drop. And then in that position, keeping some tension on the band, we want to slowly rotate into that 90-degree position where you should feel some tension in the top of the shoulders. Bring it down and repeat. Finally, we're going to go into a staggered stance torso rotation by taking the band between the thumbs, placing it across the back of the shoulders and pushing the arms fully forward, locked out. From here, we want to go into like an exaggerated golf posture, so where your upper body is at least 45 degrees. You're going to bring one foot a foot back, so in that staggered stance position, but keeping flexing the knees. Whichever leg's at the front, we're going to turn into that hip by keeping the arms fully straight and trying to almost feel like we're turning the chest as far as you can, and then bringing back down and repeating. What you want to feel is this kind of front hip start to engage when you get max turn, And when you get to that top, after a few reps, you can almost feel like you do some mini turns to get maximum range of motion and then change onto the other side.